this tour is a lot to it. We're going to get right into all the things that are included. The reason that we like to go out to Hawaii, fly out, we're going to go, where are we going to fly from, Donna?
So we're going to fly out of Bradley, which is awesome. We're going to fly from Hartford, and we will. A lot of people say, "Oh, is it nonstop?" Oh no, I wish there was, but there are no nonstop flights from here to Hawaii. We will usually make one connection en route to Honolulu, and then when we come home, we're flying home on a red eye, which is why you arrive home on October 27th, because you will fly home through the night and you're losing your time coming, back east. So you arrive home on the 27th.
Perfect.
Airline and details much further down the line a little bit. Yeah.
So we're going to just get right into the basics. We will be flying in one of the major carriers. We'll make our way. Now, the nice part of this is your trip right from the very beginning. You're going to either get transportation to the airport or you're going to meet us, where your guide is then going to be there. So Bob is actually somebody you're going to meet in a little while. He's going to be our tour host or tour escort that will be with you not only from day one doing all the transportation, but through the cruise, all the wonderful included shore excursions that are a part of our itinerary. That'll be with Bob. He'll be going with you with our local experts as well.
So we start off, what we like about this tour is we have the 7-night cruise, but we start off getting kind of acclimated to the time zone by staying in Oahu on Waikiki area for 2 nights. And during your stay in Waikiki, we include your breakfast. And we also include a really fun sunset dinner cruise on the second day that you are in Waikiki. And then we're going to go through the sightseeing and excursions that are included. And then you'll board your ship for 7 nights, where all of your meals will be included, of course, your tour director. You will have a fun cocktail party on board, and everybody receives an onboard credit of $100. So that's a lot of fun.
Perfect. So again, we'll start off. You'll meet your tour director. We're going to fly on one of the major carriers. This is kind of just a fun plane that used to fly around the area. So day one, we're basically traveling out and we're landing. When we arrive, we will get a traditional welcome. Donna, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best part about landing in Hawaii, you always have that traditional lei greeting. So we always make sure that's included for our group. And we meet our local tour operator who then transfers us over to the hotel for your 2-night stay. So you usually arrive somewhere in the late afternoon. And we always say the best thing to do the first day is try to stay up as late as possible to get yourself on that time zone. And there will be optional activities. You'll have your hotels Brett's going to talk more about that, but it's in a great area, lots of places to walk to. So that first day is just that evening you are on your own.
Perfect. So then some of the areas, I'm actually going to have Matt from NCL join us real quick and talk a little bit. Matt, do you mind joining us?
I'm right here.
Perfect. So Matt, do me a favor. Will you tell them, Matt has not only been with NCL for quite a long time, but he actually started in the industry and it connects to Hawaii. Will you share a little bit about that connection?
So my experience with Hawaii, I've been in the travel industry for over 30 years. Before I came to Norwegian Cruise Line, I worked for a tour operator that we did all of the vacation packaging for both Delta Airlines and Continental Airlines, and I was the product buyer for Hawaii. So I used to work with all of the hoteliers and tour operators in Hawaii to put together vacation packages, and I work with the Hawaii Convention and Visitors Bureau to put together these types of offerings. And so I used to go to Hawaii 4 or 5 times a year, and so I found that Hawaii was a very great product to do. We used back in the day, they used to have an airline out in Hawaii, and that was called Aloha Airlines, in which you could travel inter-island from island to island to visit all the islands. It was sort of like, like the southwest of Hawaii, where
Yep.
for just a little bit of money, you could go visit from island to island. And back then, we didn't have to worry about long lines at the airport and all that stuff. And now, that inter-island flight that used to be just like $25, $50 will now cost you over $300 to fly from one island to the other. And so that flight is going to cost you, as much as it would be to, pay for a hotel stay at another island. And so a lot of
So
people, have to make a decision about reducing the amount of time in which they're staying in one island versus the other because of the inter-island airfare. So one of the values of cruising with Norwegian is the fact that we visit all four islands with this premium floating resort on Norwegian Cruise Line, and we get to visit that, and you'd only have to unpack once.
in our case, you might
Yeah.
unpack twice because we're going to stay in
Right.
the hotel and then we're going to do this wonderful cruise. And Matt, I'm going to have you come back in a little while and share more about the Pride of America and the NCL experience. What I think what I wanted to get the point across was that this is one of the most economical ways, and there is so much in this trip of value to you. And so some of the things that people think about, one, of course, you don't need to have a passport on this because we are staying
Nope.
within the United States, right?
Yep.
We're not in the continental, but we'll be in the United States. So the convenience factor is really nice. The second part, of course, is no passports. We talked about unpacking, right?
Right.
Some of the things that I love is you're not having to get on and off planes. The other part is your cell phone. So often, staying in communication, those things are going to actually work. If you got to run out
Absolutely.
and get something at a ATM, it's United States, very easy. There's Walmart. There's all kinds of stores that you're used to. So it makes traveling on this itinerary very, very simple. So that's one of the things that people like quite a bit. Donna, do you want to talk a little bit about the first days once we've landed? We've now gone over,
Sure.
we're going to start with our hotel.
Yes. So now we've landed and we're moving over to our hotel, which is the Outrigger Beachcomber Waikiki. And that hotel is the scheduled hotel to stay in. And it is like most big hotels there in Waikiki, it is across the street from the beach. Here's a couple pictures of the pool area. It's a beautiful hotel. And it's very centrally located. Like I said, easy access to the beach with a walkway, restaurants, the international marketplace is steps from the door. So what we've designed in this itinerary is a little bit different than what we've done in the past is, we've listened to people's comments from previous years and we listen and we say, okay, let's do something a little different. The second day that you're in Waikiki, we're giving you that day free. And a lot of people love this. They can sleep in a little longer. Their breakfast voucher is good anytime they want to use it for Duke's, which is a great breakfast spot. I think Bob, the tour director, can attest to that. It's a great spot. And they can go anytime they want and then have that whole day just free to do as they please. If they want to shop, if they want to go to the beach, let's sit by the pool. It's just perfect. And then that evening, we would then do our sunset dinner cruise, which is a lot of fun. And the views from the water of Diamond Head from the ocean is just spectacular. So this is a great way to get out on the water, see Oahu from that vantage point, which is pretty spectacular, and then watch the sunset, enjoy some Polynesian music, some good food. So it's a really great way to like welcome you to Hawaii and say, you're here. This is why you've traveled this whole way to get here is for just that spectacular view. So we like
Excellent.
it to start off that way and a little different, but something that we're really excited about.
So in the pictures that you see, this hotel is really unique. It's actually starts on the second floor. It's right on the main street, literally the road right before Waikiki Beach. The pink building in the bottom pool picture, that's the Royal Hawaiian. So if people know, Duke was one of the most famous surfers in the 20s and 30s. And that's the place that you're going to have breakfast. It's right on the water. It's really well known. I'm going to show you a quick video of what the hotel is a little bit like, and then we're going to talk a little more of the cruise and go from there. Now, all of these rooms are actually designed by local artists. Not only does it have a great restaurant, it also has Maui Brewing Company. It's actually right located in the hotel. Has the pool on the upper area. All kinds of amenities for you to use. Now, what we like best about this is the location. So if you look, that B is basically the hotel, and the little walkway in this sandy area, that's the beach. So it's just one quick step across the street, down a little pathway. You go past, it's all lined with old surfboards, and you are there. So that's going to begin our adventure. You'll have that free day, as Donna said, and then that evening is going to be our sunset cruise. Now, I know in the past, some of the groups, there are things that you can actually do on that Waikiki day. Some people chose to go out on a catamaran. Some people shop, some just relax by that pool or right by the beach, and that is completely up to you. Donna, do you want to talk about the next day following our sunset
Sure.
cruise? We wake up,
Brett,
check out.
Absolutely.
Brett, before you
Yeah.
go, I just wanted to interject. The hotel that you guys selected is incredible. So when it comes to Hawaii, location is everything, and you guys have a hotel that's right in the heart of everything on Waikiki Beach. Right there, you have a hotel that's right across the street from the beach. It's in the heart of the international marketplace, right by the shopping, right by where all the restaurants and everything that's happening right in Waikiki. And so you're basically there where everything's happening, where your guests are going to want to go.
They're kind of in the heart of it all. And that's really what we wanted to do, is make it so you could easily navigate and get around and have lots to do depending on what your interest is. What I love about cruising and these types of vacations is you can make things very, very customized to you. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But thanks, Matthew. That's great to hear. I know you have a lot of experience with the different properties. So Donna, this is day now, I believe, number 3.
This is now we're going to be on day 3. We're going to have breakfast again at Duke's that morning. We will, you'll be given your checkout time. We'll board our motor coach. We will load our luggage at that point as well, because now this is the day we're actually going to be heading over to the ship, which is your sailing day. So instead of just, going over to the ship, we actually try to include as much of the island as possible. So we're going to head over to the eastern side of Oahu.
So just so people know, we're going to do 2 days on Oahu of touring. So this morning, and then when we finish our cruise. So don't worry, you're going to see more of the island, and
Exactly.
Donna's going to talk about this day right now.
So on this day, we do more of like a half day experience where we're getting you to the eastern side, which is a little more unspoiled, lush tropical rainforest, beautiful views like you see on the screen here. And I think they do stop at that famous blowhole, which everybody talks about getting to see. So you can see it's like a completely different landscape than the Waikiki side. So we try to incorporate this side of the island as well in our
and really quickly, you're going to learn about the islands. There's a windward side and a leeward side. One is very, very dry. The other is usually more moisture. The eastern shore tends to have more moisture. So you may see a little bit of rain that day. You may have, I actually, last time I was there, had one of the most amazing rainbows I've ever seen. The guides are great. President Obama has an area he loved to surf as a kid. They pointed that out to us. All kinds of really interesting things about the history, present and past, before you then arrive at the ship. And Donna, I know this is a little bit of a change. And tell them a little bit about why we did this one.
Well, so I think what we've done in the past is we've done the day we board, we've done the USS Missouri and the Arizona and the city tour, and we didn't get to the ship till later in the day, closer to almost dinner time. And we've just decided to flip-flop that a little bit, just to make this a little bit, get onto the ship a little bit earlier, so you can get acclimated, get unpacked into your room, and then be settled in time for dinner, so that you can then just not be worrying about unpacking. It's just a little more relaxing. And then the last day of the cruise, which we're going to go through, is the day that we'll do Pearl Harbor, we'll do the USS Missouri, and then the Honolulu City tour.
So we're really going to cover Honolulu for you, all in all. Now, the power of this is this wonderful vessel that will be going, and Matthew's going to talk about this a little bit more. I want to share a quick video with you about the NCL experience out in Hawaii. And it is great to go all year round. We're super excited because now you're going to basically board your floating resort that Matthew was talking about. And Matthew, do you want to talk a little bit about the experience that they're going to have on board?
Sure. The Pride of America is an incredible ship. She made her debut with us in 2005. She's been recently refurbished in 2021. And actually, she's going to go in dry dock this spring for another refurbishment in April. So by the time you guys join her, she will be recently refurbished. She has about a 2,000 passenger guest capacity. And as I said, she is a premium floating resort that will take you to all the islands of interest on your vacation, and you'll only have to unpack once. Now, from top to bottom and from bow to stern, this ship, the Pride of America, has enough onboard activities to fill every minute of your cruise. You can indulge in a refreshing swim at the Oasis pool or the Miami-inspired South Beach pool. When you want some me time, look no further than the Mandara Spa. You can relax with a hot stone massage or one of 50 specialty treatments offered on board. When you're looking for something a little bit more in terms of your culinary appetite, every cruise fare we have on board includes beautifully crafted menus. In our two main dining rooms, we have the Skyline restaurant and the Liberty main dining room. You'll notice that the theme of this ship is Americana. So there's a lot of that theming on there. So there's a casual Aloha Cafe that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a 24-hour eatery that has comfort food in the Cadillac Diner. We have East Meets West is our complimentary Asian restaurant, which features freshly prepared noodles, delicious wok fried dishes, and authentic soups and more. And then I have the next image that we have there is some beautiful views from our Skyline restaurant.
Oh, yes.
And those, as we have these floor to ceiling windows that you can take in the views as we're sailing past some of the beautiful vistas as we pass the islands. And then we get into some of our specialty dining options. We serve a wide variety of culinary delights to please every palate in our amazing restaurants, offering chef signature dishes and carefully selected wine recommendations, guaranteeing different culinary adventures with every visit. You can sip your favorite cocktails as you select different choice cuts of Angus beef at Cagney Steakhouse, which is my favorite restaurant to choose from. You can enjoy delicious pastas with our freshest ingredients in our chic Italian eatery, La Cucina, or savor fresh cuisine at Jefferson's Bistro. My favorite of all of these is Moderno Churrascaria.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Brazilian style steakhouse where you get a card. You have a green card, and on the other side, it is a red card. And so they have pasadores that bring fresh meats over to you, and they slice them right in front of you to put on your plate. They have a beautiful salad bar selection for you to choose from, and they just keep bringing you meats until you turn the red card over and tell them that you don't want meats. It is my favorite place because it's the only place on the ship where you can actually play chicken with chicken. Um, no matter what you choose, our specialty dining offers options and features tastes that you'll absolutely love. So you can make dining reservations 120 days prior to sailing online. And so please do make those. The next slide is a picture of the Mondurno Churrascaria with the beautiful views as well of the islands. And as I said, this is the authentic Brazilian churrascaria. And it has, as I said, it has an impressive salad bar. So, please save plenty of room for the slow roasted carved meats. One of
I
my
know,
favorite things.
Matthew, I had 2 vegetarians on my trip, and this was their favorite restaurant because of how extensive the salad bar and all the different types of foods that are there, and the desserts are absolutely to die for.
One of my favorite things, and you must try it if you go to the Mondurno Churrascaria, is they have a slow roasted cinnamon sugar glazed pineapple that they carve right there for you. It is absolutely amazing. And the pineapple just in Hawaii alone is incredible. So just imagine just how it's slow roasted for you there. The next slide.
We're going to talk about the specialty restaurants at the very end because there's a special part with booking this trip that you might have some options to go to those. So a freestyle dining, do you want to talk a little bit about what that means, Matthew?
Okay, so freestyle dining is what we do. We do things differently at Norwegian than other cruise lines. We offer a resort style experience at sea. So rather than assigning you dining so that you have to go to the early dinner to see the late show, we offer restaurant style seating so that if you like to dine at 6:30, then you can go to dinner at 6:30. You don't have to worry about being selected to be chosen to be dining at 5 o'clock or have to dine at 8 o'clock. You can dine whenever you want, or you don't have to be picked to sit at a table full of strangers and be forced to make friends. You can sit at a table full of your friends, or you can just sit at a table of your family or your significant others or whatnot. And then if you want to make friends, you can invite them to sit at your table. So that's the great thing about our restaurant style seating is that you can make friends and you can invite them to your table and you can dine with them so that you can enjoy, because this is your vacation. You should enjoy your vacation on your own terms. And so this is what we create for you so that you can dine when you want, with whomever you want. And so this is one of the concepts that we have. We also have a relaxed dress code as well. So you don't have to feel like you have to dress up every night on vacation. First of all, you're in Hawaii, okay? So aloha shirts are allowed in all of our dining rooms. So you can certainly wear that, but also you don't have to worry about what night is the formal night that I should dress up for dinner. I will tell you that we have the most amazing photographers that will take incredible pictures of you during your Hawaiian cruise. So if you want to dress up on any night or every night of your cruise, you can feel free to do so, and they will take those pictures. But if you just want to dress down and relax because you're on island time, well, then you can most certainly do so, and you can enjoy your vacation on your own terms.
And so I know there's so much to the ship, but we're going to go through a little bit. Do you want to just quickly touch on a couple of the nightlife entertainment?
Sure. In terms of nightlife and entertainment, we have a lot of bars and restaurants and areas in which you can enjoy. And with the beverage packages that we offer with our programs, There's a lot of different places in which you can enjoy these beverages. And I will tell you, with the beverage program that we offer in Hawaii, we have what we call a true beverage program. Unlike any of our ships throughout our fleet, Hawaii, we have a true beverage program because we have a U.S. flag ship, we have to abide by U.S. laws and Hawaii state laws. And in Hawaii, we're not allowed to discount alcohol. So in order to offer a premium beverage package in Hawaii, we told the Hawaiian authorities that no, this is not just an alcohol package. This is a true beverage package. So this package includes bottled waters, coffees, fresh squeezed juices, everything you can imagine is in there. So, you're getting the premium of premium beverage packages. So feel free to take advantage of it. No matter what you like, it's in this beverage package. So take advantage of it. And we have this available for you. So we have lots of places to choose from. And then we have great entertainment to choose from, whether it be we have Las Vegas style shows that highlight Americana, as well as we have cabaret and lounge acts as well in our Mardi Gras cabaret theater as well.
And of course, the passing by scenery as we're sailing is nothing better than being outside and enjoying it.
Absolutely. Like this is the what you'll be seeing as you're on the South Beach pool. This is what you'll be experiencing as we're passing. It's a great opportunity to just soak up that Polynesian atmosphere out there out in Hawaii.
Now, the ship has basically it's, I believe, how many decks on this one?
This ship has, I believe it has 14 decks.
Yep. And then there's, right around 21, almost 2,200 for its capacity. Its size is perfect. It's track. I know when I was on there, if you did 3.5 times around the jogging track, that was a mile. So it gives you kind of a feel for the size of it. It does have the American theme all throughout. It's the Pride of America. So from the front desk in the lobby area to the upstairs, if you're doing those specialty coffees at the John Adams, all these wonderful names from history right in there, the John Adams coffee. If you're at the wonderful Aloha Cafe, that would be an eating area. The Cadillac Diner, 24 hours a day. If you're up late and you need a snack, that's a great one to do. East meets West, we talked about these, the Key West Bar, Liberty Main Dining Room. So these are some of the places that you will enjoy while you're on board. But the highlight of this trip is the places that we're going. So Donna, will you do me a favor? Will you pick up on, now we've boarded, we've started our 7-night cruise, and our first stop as we leave over here in Honolulu, we're going to make our way to Maui.
Yes, absolutely. So we wake up in Maui, we dock in Kahului, and we are here for 2 days. So this is awesome. You get 2 full days in Maui to 1 day where we have included sightseeing, which is going to be day 4. Right off the bat, we're going to have an included tour. And then the next day is free. And we're going to talk a little bit about what are some of the things you can do on your free day. The included tour that we do is really an amazing day. It's up to Haleakala, which is Haleakala National Park, which is the big
This area right
volcano.
here.
Yes, the crater.
Yep.
You feel like when you
So
get
we're
up there now.
docked here and we're going to make our way through.
Make
It's a
our way
really
there.
wonderful trip going from the
It
bottom all the way
is.
up.
Exactly. So part of the experience is not just getting to the top, but it's the drive up. You have these switchback roads, and you might pass a lot of the bikers that ride up in a car and then bike down. It's amazing. But when you get up to the top, you're at 10,000 feet. So it's cooler temperatures. You're getting out that sweater when you get off the coach or the mini coach, and you're really feeling that temperature difference. But you're in the clouds. It's pretty amazing. You look like you've landed on the moon, I think.
And they
Yes,
call this
we
the
have,
House of the Sun. That's
yes,
the translation.
absolutely. So, at the summit, the crater is 7.5 miles long by 2.5 miles wide. So it's pretty vast experience to see that when you get to the top. And it is obviously, you know, in the culture of Hawaii, these are sacred sites. So you'll read and learn a lot about that aspect of it as well.
It truly feels like you're on the moon or on Mars. And actually, there's an area where NASA has been using some of this to train for Mars. Matthew, do you have anything that you would want to share about this area?
I remember very fondly the bike tours from Hayakala where the cruiser bob, they used to call them the cruiser bob bike tours, where you would get up early in the morning, they would take the bus all the way up, and then you would ride all the way down. And my favorite experience when I did it was the smell of the lavender fields when you got down to the bottom of the bottom of the mountain, where you were just like, it was because it was so cold up there, and then when you got back down to the bottom, it was just like amazing. And just the views up there, as you would see because you would get up there pre-dawn and you would see the sunrise, and then you would ride the bike, you would just like coast the bikes down. It's just amazing.
It's really different than any other
breathtaking.
part
Yeah.
of Hawaii. It's really something you don't expect. And what I love is as you make your way up, you'll go through, there are pineapple fields down there and farms. There's last time I was there was an agave farm. So you're literally going through, and all of a sudden you're getting above where normal plants would be, some of those ones that I shared with you. So that's going to be our morning. On our way, we're actually going to have a lunch that was included. When I did it last time, this was this amazing restaurant about halfway down. That's actually a pizza oven, but the flowers that grow naturally in Hawaii that were just everywhere, and the whole experience was something pretty special. Then making our way back to the hotel, the guides are it's different every single time. The different guides have lots to offer. And our particular one, we had some people that really were into surfing and wanted to see the local culture. So we stopped off at a beach and we're watching these guys surf, and we're looking over and we said, "What are those rocks?" And he said, "Oh, those aren't rocks. Those are leatherback turtles." So it's just amazing to see the different parts of Maui. Do you want to talk about the second day, Donna?
Yes, sure. So on the next day in Maui, like we mentioned at the beginning, you do have a free day. So there's many shore excursions that the cruise line that Norwegian will offer to you. And we'll give you some hints on how to book those in advance if you'd like, which we do recommend. If there's something particular that you wanted to do, like the road to Hana, you've heard about that, you know, amazing experience. Or if you wanted to do a some type of helicopter tour or snorkeling. So if you want to get something booked in advance, we'll absolutely give you the tools you need to do that.
You
And
remember
there's
how
just
I
a
told you
variety.
you would have the option to make your trip unique to you? So on this day, this is your free choice of what you would like to do. The place where the boat docks, the docks in Hawaii, a lot of them are real working dock areas. So you do want to try to schedule something, even if it's just simply a shuttle that the ship may provide that you can do. So Matthew, do you want to talk a little bit about shore excursions and some things that maybe you like?
So, some of my favorite excursions in Maui are the Molokini snorkel. I've done that before. It's really it is a extinct crater right off of the coast of Maui. They take you out there, and there's a lot of aquatic life that you can go visit, and you just go and you snorkel around and get to see a lot of stuff over there. Um, you can't go wrong doing the pineapple farm tour. They do that's really a very good a popular thing as well, to go do the pineapple farm tour. I haven't done the road to Hana adventure in a while, and so I always recommend that as well, because there is it is a day trip, and so
It's a full day.
that's one
Yep.
of that's one of the that is one of the great opportunities, because we're overnighting in Maui, that you get to do that, because with anything else, with another cruise line, you wouldn't be able to do that, because you would have to go back to the ship by a certain time. But because we're overnighting, you are able to spend the whole day experiencing the road to Hana.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So
absolutely. And there are also some luau's that will be offered by the cruise line too that are off the ship on Hawaii as well as Maui, which is kind of nice to
Yep.
experience.
And there are also other you could also, if you want to go off on your own, I know that there are other luau's that you could do at other resorts that you can look at to do independently that do an awesome job as well.
excellent. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to share the video of the road to Hana, but it is a really neat all day kind of thing. The beauty of that, especially if you go with the NCL led tours, is they're going to do stops off at little areas that are like coves, beaches, surfing areas that you can go and take these amazing pictures. So it's really fun. From there, we're going to make our way to the Big Island. We often
Yes.
refer to Hawaii, but Hawaii is actually an island as well as the chain. And the Big Island is divided into two areas. So Hilo, which is going to be over in this area here, and Kona. And we're going to actually, the ship is going to stay in both of those areas. And Donna, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Absolutely. So day 6, we are, so I always, the island of Hawaii is about the size of the state of Connecticut. So I try to I think that gives you like a little bit of a gauge on how big it is. So what's nice is that the ship sails to each side. So you're not, driving across the whole, to get to where we're going. So what's nice is that you dock in Kona one day and in Hilo, the first day you're in Hilo, second day you're in Kona. So when we dock in Hilo, the most popular thing to do from here is to visit the Volcanoes National Park. So we come to Hawaii to learn about the volcanoes, right? I mean, it's just such a big part of this experience. So the tour that we like to include here is to Volcanoes National Park. Um, and you just are amazed at the lava fields. And, I think at one point you were able to see lava tubes. We're not 100% sure after the last eruption, like what is, if that experience still is there, but they will tell you all about it and talk about all the different ecological like zones of the Big Island. And these guys are just experts in this area, and you just see a lot of Volcanoes National Park, which is really the highlight of that part of the
So
island.
Donna, why don't we share a little bit of what they're going to see? One of my favorite spots along the way is also
Hmm.
Rainbow Falls, and this is kind of a quick
Yes.
idea of some of what you're going to see on this. Again, the guides, depending on what's happening in the area, may make some alterations. So we're sharing it for this is what is scheduled, but things can change. So sometimes, like when I was there, Volcano National Park, there was a big eruption that was going out into the ocean, which was great because then the ships actually were going by it. But right before we got there, it stopped. And so um, we actually couldn't go to certain areas because of what had happened with the eruption. So on other parts of our trip, we had places that people couldn't go before us. So it's always changing and evolving.
Exactly.
As a Hawaiian, it gives me a lot of joy. Sharing our nature, sharing our land, our stories, and sharing our volcano. Rainbow Falls is a beautiful, classic Hawaiian waterfall. When I look at it, I picture it in old time. Our Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is over 330,000 acres. We'll be venturing to the museum. It overlooks our Kilauea crater, the crater of Halemaumau. We'll be going down to the Thurston lava tube. A lava tube is formed when lava moves through an area and it starts to crust over. It's something that is cool, something that's mysterious. Just the actual drive through the park is a treat of its own because you change from rainforest, you can go through desert, and yet below the ground we have something that could erupt anytime.
So really fun. We're going to be doing both. These are my pictures, Rainbow Falls. I even had a rainbow for you. So really fun. Then from there, the ship is going to move. It's going to go from Hilo and it's going to come around here to the Kona side.
Yes, so the Kona side is where, I mean, I love the color of the water sides. I mean, so the vistas are just amazing, but the blue water on the off the Big Island is just absolutely spectacular. It's a blue like you just can't even describe. But why do we go to Hawaii? Not just for volcanoes, but for those coffee lovers. So, and I'm going to let Bob jump in here in just a second to talk about this day because he had a great experience. I'm going to let him take over a little bit. Um, but we do visit a coffee farm, and then we also visit the place of refuge, which is a national park. Bob, are you still there? Can you unmute?
I'm good.
Thank
Hear me?
you. Yes.
Bob, do you want to
Hello.
share a little bit about your day? So one of the things that we found as a change was Kona Coffee tends to be a really great coffee place, big store, but we wanted to have a more unique experience. Do you want to share a little bit about what you guys discovered and what you did that day?
Well, I'd love to. Instead of doing the traditional Kona, which of course is world renowned when you hear that name, we did a smaller coffee plantation, probably 50 acres. It called Bayview. And we had the most interesting, detailed explanation of coffee. The beans from the time you pick them. We actually went out into the field, picked them, shelled them, and showed the entire process until they were sorted and put into bags and could also have been ground if you wanted them. I could tell you the cost of coffee. You could pay as much as $200 a pound. But those are special coffee beans, and all of this is part of the history that we get from them. But we did Bayview, which is not too far from the next site that we're going to. The people thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's amazing the amount of coffee that was purchased and mailed home because
Then
of
the history of Hawaii is pretty amazing, and especially the Polynesian culture and they had laws and they had a whole hierarchy, and that kind of leads us to the historic park that we're going. Do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Sure. If you could pretend you were back in 10 years old and playing hide and go seek, let's say if you left a tree and you weren't caught and you had to run and get back to that tree and you were considered safe. Picture the Hawaiian culture. The cultures, the tribes that were there, this was a religious kind of safety zone. So if you committed a kapu, K-A-P-U, that would be a sin. Your life could be in danger. And your tribesmen would be looking for that particular person. Well, when you go to this Puhunana National Park, it is actually a refuge, so that if you were being chased, you were trying to be, caught and brought to justice. If you made it to this national park, all of your sins would be absolved. And they have the shrine. They have a movie that explains it in detail, and the grounds that you can walk are quite extensive. And it was a real eye opener for history in Hawaii.
So this day is really a great day to see how it is to live on the island today and what it was like with the history of it. And the Big Island, I think, is one of the most fascinating islands because more Hawaiians live off-grid, meaning off electricity, off water on the Big Island. It's really means people rely on each other. There's wonderful, we've talked a little bit about luau's and the native pigs. Well, there are out in the woods, things like that. So our guide did a real extensive idea of what actually living on the island today was for all different people, from the tourists visiting to people who have been there for decades and decades and live in more a traditional way. So really fascinating. From there, we're going to go to an island that, I can't see your hands right now, but I know many of us remember Fantasy Island, that television show. Kauai is an island that has more movies and shows that have been shot there over the years because of its natural beauty. I know sometimes it's called the Honeymoon Island, the Waterfall Island, the Movie Island, but it is really a one of my favorite of the islands. And on this particular trip, not everybody gets to go here. As Matthew was saying, it's hard because you have to fly in if you're not going via ship. So we are going to be visiting Kauai. And Donna, why don't you take a little bit of
Sure.
time and tell them a little bit about this as well?
Absolutely. So we are also in Kauai for 2 days. So again, you have a day where we have included tours, which I'll talk about, and then you also have a day 9, which will be free. The ship actually stays in port longer now. So like Matthew said, there's no ship that stays in Hawaii these hours. I mean, this is just a tremendous amount of time to be able to experience and really, for everything that it's worth. Our tour that we do on day 8, when we dock into Wili Wili, Kauai, it will include Waimea Canyon, which is the Grand Canyon of the South Pacific. So when you take pictures, and there's a picture on the flyer that I have, it really looks like you're at the Grand Canyon. It's pretty amazing. So they'll take you there, and it's also the Garden Island. So you'll notice that the so green, so rich, just completely different. Each island has, when you go from that like volcanic like landscape of the Big Island, then you move over to Kauai, you're just experiencing so many different types of landscapes. I think that's one of the best parts about it, is that you're really getting to see all the differences. So the day that we do Waimea Canyon, we also do a cruise up the Waialua River to the Fern Grotto, which is such a cool experience. It's they play the wedding song. They actually have the couples that are on the tour. You like renew your vows. It's just a really unique experience. And you're cruising up a river. There's like, you feel like you're in this like rainforest. And then at
Donna,
the
let me
end,
share a quick video with them
oh,
about
sure,
this
go right ahead.
experience.
Okay, that'd be great. Thanks.
I definitely do enjoy sharing the beautiful views and scenes of the whole island. And the Waimea Canyon and the Waialua River Fern Grotto tour shows you what's so special about the island. The Waimea Canyon Lookout, also known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. This is a view that you have to come and see. Very, very beautiful panoramic view of the canyon. From 3,500 feet in elevation, we head back down directly to sea level and enjoy the spouting horn, which is a lava tube. You get real up close to it. They say it was created by Pele, which is our goddess of fire. It definitely does look like an eruption. The Fern Grotto still is a very, very sacred area to the Hawaiian people. It's very beautiful. And up there is where you will have the Hawaiian wedding music sung for you folks. Being on the boat ride is an awesome way to finish off of a tour. This would definitely be a prescription to end the day here in Kauai.
And then you will have the opportunity to do some things that are not included, but that you can add in. Along the way, often we talk about, when you go to Hawaii, people will tell you about the wonderful helicopter rides, Blue Hawaiian helicopters. They say whenever you go into the air, you go into your pocket, because they can be a little bit of pricey, but they are absolutely an amazing way to see the islands.
A lot of people can go to Hawaii once in their lifetime and they want to get the most out of that trip, so they'll take a helicopter ride. They can see the biggest portion of the island in that short period of time. With all the glass in the cockpit, there's not a bad seat in the house. Part of the experience is being in the terrain itself, between the valleys and hills, and they can see it from all sides. Jurassic Park Falls, or Manawaiapuna is its actual name. It is on private property, so just about the only way you can see it is by helicopter.
So that is an experience that's definitely quite unique. One of my favorite of the luau's is actually here on Kauai, and after our tour, you can actually book for the evening to go out through NCL, and this is an example. But something that is definitely worth looking into, and we can help you do that. And then after all that, you're going to sail amongst one of the most beautiful coastlines anywhere in the world. Matthew, have you had a chance to do this?
I have not a chance to sail the Napili Coast, but I did get a chance to climb into one of those blue Hawaiian helicopters and go on one of those helicopter tours. And I'm one of those people that I'm not a big fan of heights, but I will tell you, it was the most surreal experience. I was so calm. It was so beautiful. I was just such in awe of the whole experience. It was amazing how beautiful. You're just like hovering over these waterfalls. And I often tell people, like, if you ever opened up the dictionary and looked up the word paradise, Kauai Kauai is the word under paradise.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
It's a really wonderful area. So this is a great way to kind of finish that day into going to the last evening of the cruise. And then we're going to get back to Oahu. Donna, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I see that we also have a video, which I won't talk too much. So it is sad. We're getting off the ship now. It's our last night and we have to get off. So we pack, and tour director Bob will give you all the information you need to disembark. And then our motor coach will be waiting for us to take us and our luggage on a really great day of touring that will include the USS Arizona Memorial, which is a must-see, the Battleship Missouri, and then we also get to like some of the downtown sites in Honolulu before ending at the airport.
And this is just a kind of a quick taste of what that's like.
The Arizona Memorial, it's almost like an icon and known throughout the world. I experienced something so emotional, inspirational. I find so many people had relatives during the war, grandfathers during the war, parents, and they come here to pay their respects to the men that were fallen during December 7th. If you go to Oahu, you just absolutely have to go to Pearl Harbor.
This excursion is also going to take a trip down in downtown Honolulu, which includes the Iolani Palace, the King Kamehameha statue, which sits in the Supreme Court Justice Building, also the Punch Bowl Crater, which is now the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. If you wanted to get out, see some of the city, see some of the historical sites there, and of course you come out to Pearl Harbor. In a matter of a few hours, you get to learn so much and so much history. Kind of like the last hurrah before they go home.
So it is really amazing. What makes Hawaii unique compared to any other state, it's the only state, of course, that has a palace, right? So the royal family. And I know Bob could talk about these all night long. We could sit here and tell you over and over about how many things you're going to see, but you can read a lot of this on the flyer. King Kamehameha statue, a lot of us know that from either Hawaii Five-0, the original, or maybe Magnum PI, but really unique. The Arizona is something I wish everybody gets a chance to go and experience and see. This thing as the oil still comes up today. It is truly a life-changing experience. So the Missouri as well, which is of course where the end of World War II, the signing happened. So how do we go about booking this, and what all the different parts to know. So we've talked a lot about specialty dining and about drink packages and things. So Donna, will you kind of bring this all home for them and explain some of the options that are available?
Absolutely. So this is a snippet of the back of the flyer that talks about the costs. We are holding in our allotment interior cabins and balcony cabins. We'll get into the cabin pictures a little bit after. And you can see the prices there. Insides are $59.99, balconies are $65.49, and taxes are additional. With the cruise comes some amenity choices. So what's great is that depending on what your preferences are, you get to pick and choose from your amenities. So inside cabin, if you were to choose that, you would get to pick 2 choices from A or 2 choices from B.
So you
Balcony
can't
cabins,
mix and match, right? You can't take
mix
some
and
from here and
match.
here. You have to go one
Exactly.
or the other.
Exactly. And if you were to do a balcony cabin, then you would have, say, Donna, I would like A or I would like B. And so Matthew had touched on the drink package a little bit. I personally think Group A is a phenomenal choice because you get the beverage package. All of your drinks would be included, including the bottled water, specialty coffees and teas. That's unique to Hawaii only on NCL. The only thing you have to pay is the gratuity portion of that, which is $152.60, and then the gratuities for the dinner package. So the 2 specialty dinners. This is where you get to experience that. Now I want to go to the Brazilian steakhouse because you've got me wanting to go there totally. So the 2 specialty dinners, you would be included so that you wouldn't have to pay additional for that. You would get 250 minutes of internet or and $50 offshore excursions, which you could use one for Maui and one for Kauai and save a little bit of money there. Group B, if you didn't want the drink package, that's fine. You can choose Group B, won't cost you anything additional, and you get all of these added amenities that you see there, including the photo package and $100 onboard credit. What's not showing there is that you also get a bonus. Everybody that books, no matter what type of room, every cabin will get $100 onboard credit. So that's kind of fun. You can use that to purchase more specialty dining or buy something in the gift shop, bring home a souvenir, or go to the spa. So that's like a bonus for everybody.
So the first choice they're going to do, Donna, is they're going to pick the category of cabin.
Yes.
Then they're going to make, so when we talk about the cabins, there are 2 options that we have. Matthew, do you want to say anything about the different staterooms? So we have balconies and we have the insides.
So I will tell you, I just had my great aunt, who lives in Brookline, Massachusetts. She stayed on the Pride of America in a balcony, and she told me that the best part about her cruise was the fact that every morning she could have, she ordered room service on her balcony every morning. They brought her coffee and some pastries, and she had her breakfast on her balcony out, and she got to see the island on the balcony. And so that was the best part of her day, having a balcony stateroom. And she said that, that was the best thing. And plus, my uncle is a car buff. He owns an Edsel, so he loved the Cadillac diner up there as well. But she said that she would definitely do it again, but she had to have a balcony. So the balcony staterooms are great because you get that extra experience of that Polynesian experience of having that experience with the ocean right there, right outside your doorstep.
What I like about this ship is there's lots of open areas as well. So if you're the kind of person that doesn't spend a lot of time in your cabin, you're up and out, you want to go do your thing, you still get that experience from all around the ship as well. But this is another way. And these beds can either be together or apart. And this would be, of course, the inside stateroom.
Correct. And they can push those beds together for you. And their cabin steward will be able to take care of that for you. And they'll be able to help you with anything that you guys need.
Perfect. But again, it's definitely a nice thing to have that balcony. We talked about that. Now, Donna, talking about A and Bs, when we're talking about the specialty dining, that in A, they would get two and they could then add others, correct?
Exactly. So You would make your reservations. There's a way of making them in advance. A lot of people do make them once they board. You can then, when you get to the dining room for the included dinners, they would present you with a menu and they would explain how it works. It's usually an appetizer, entree, and dessert. And they would tell you exactly what's included, but you get the full experience of the restaurant. So we all have our favorites. So of course the Brazilian, we've talked a little bit about that. There's an Italian, Cagney's is always great, and you can also do hibachi. So everybody loves a good hibachi, right?
Absolutely. Matthew,
So
anything
there's
that you wanted to add
the
about
choices.
the specialty dining that we haven't already covered?
I just think that it's a tremendous value. One of the things that we do differently than any other cruise line is all of our ships are purpose built for the specialty dining, where we have the galleys are inside the restaurants. So these meals are cooked to order for you at the restaurants. So they're not going to the main dining room to go
Yep.
get your entree. So with other cruise lines, they have to do that. So these are small, intimate venues where they cook to order these foods, and we're turning into a more of a foodie type of cruise line all the time.
And again, they're scattered throughout. One of my favorite, that the Brazilian one that we were talking about, is actually at the top, at the back, at the aft part of it, and you have this beautiful view there. You can start by having a drink outside of the bar outside and then go in. So there's a lot of this particular restaurant. Of course, the Japanese we talked about.
And Donna mentioned teppanyaki. This is my favorite restaurant in our entire fleet. I spend my birthday whenever we're on a ship at teppanyaki, because that's that you get, it's dinner and a show, because
Yeah.
they sing to you, they have a lot of fun, they play games, it's great.
So for the sake of time, we're going to kind of wrap things up and go to any questions for people. But Donna, so talk a little bit more of how do they go ahead and book this now?
Sure. So calling our office and asking for myself, that's the quickest way to do it. I'm in the office generally every day, not Saturday and Sunday. But give us a call. We'll take your information. Since we don't need passports, we will just ask how your driver's license reads, so that we can get you onto your name matching your airline ticket. And we'll just answer questions. We can talk about any special diets, any special needs, requirements, mobility. We go through it all. So, that's my job. And, I would just personally customize this however you need. And we just have that conversation. We would do the deposit. We do have a limited amount of space on this. We do try to keep our groups on the smaller side. We don't bring 100 people in our groups to Hawaii. So we do try to keep it on the smaller side. So we are about half full at this point. And so if you are interested in going, we will be taking reservations for I believe, the next couple of months. But once it's full, and we won't take any more. So I would suggest, if you definitely want to go, don't wait. Just give me a call as soon as possible.
I know we went a little longer than we would have liked, but it's because there's so much in this trip. Of course, you were able to hear from Bob, who will be tour directing and escorting this trip. We have the stay in Honolulu. We have the sightseeing, the shore excursions, your flights, so much included in this. So I want to end by saying mahalo, which is thank you. We really appreciate everybody's time.